So I have to say I'm a little bit nervous now after Malika said that wearing suits and being in marketing was obviously not the way to go. So my apologies, but we can blame Uncle Bella for calling me after this. So I wanted to start with a couple of disclaimers. The first one being that I'm not going to discuss is the glass half full or is it half empty. We've all been reading about Marissa Mayer, CEO, mother at the same time. I was watching the Olympics opening ceremony and they said, this was the first time that all Olympic teams have women representatives, so it's great. But at the same time, Marissa Mayer is the 20th, she's the 20th CEO in the Fortune 500, which still leaves that as 4%. So those are the only facts I'm going to share. The second disclaimer I'm going to make is, so normally when we talk about successful women, we talk about people who are mothers doing multiple things and stuff. I'm 34, I'm single, I don't have any children, and yes, my mother does lecture me on that, but that will be another speech. So again, if I don't have the kind of perspective that Malika can share with you, do forgive me, but do please stand up. Sorry. Do stand up and clap at the end, I'd appreciate that because I got up at 5 today morning to come and talk to you all. So with whatever little experience I have, I'm going to share my advice to women and of course to the men. You're free to take some of it too. And my first piece of advice is, I think Malika mentioned that there are preconceived notions. So, someone like me who's grown up with a lot of opportunity, I have to say I haven't struggled in any sort of way. I've grown up with a lot of opportunity. But all the time I get questions like, I actually had someone who sits on one of our boards, like at a dinner, asked me, so you work a full day? I was like, well, he's like, you go to the office so I was like, yeah. I've had people say, so your brother will take over everything, I whisper under my breath over my dead body. But, what you really realize is just smile and then hit the 6 out. Because I actually think that women have that advantage, correct? Because the expectations sometimes are not there. So if you can learn not to take it personally, correct? You have the opportunity to really hit the 6 out there. I'll give you another example, and this is in FMCG marketing. We ask people, well, some of you still want to do it, I know that. So for most FMCG companies, including Godrej, we put people in sales for a couple of years before they come into marketing, and sometimes these places are really in the back of beyond. And this is not just for the girls, because I think men complain even more, correct? That they want to be in metro cities, they don't want to go out there, they don't want to roll up their sleeves and stuff. But I've seen that the women who do really well are not the ones who say, it will be dangerous and I've not done this before and stuff. They don't they don't make themselves special because they're women. They roll up their sleeves and they sort of get things done. So that would be my advice, correct? If you come to the table and say, I'm a woman and I'm different because of this, that's the first thing that stops you. So I think when you join companies, when you join non-profits, whatever you do, it's really that your effort that sort of counts. The second thing that I wanted to say is, pursue your passion. And I really think women have, like Malika said, much more advantage than men. I went to business school as an undergrad, and I went to graduate business school, so I have a lot of women who are sort of in the business world. And what I've seen over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, especially as the financial crisis happened, a lot of my friends were in private equity and investment banking, which are like horrible jobs, by the way. But what I saw was the women actually took sabbaticals. They actually took 6 months off. They started traveling. A lot of them have become entrepreneurs. Now, I can't, if I go through my list of friends, none of the men did that. So I think as a woman, there's that huge advantage to really pursue, I mean, the men should do that too, but pursue your passion. Because you have that advantage, that people are not breathing down your neck saying you have to be in investment banking. So I think this pursuing your passion is very important. My third piece of advice, which would apply to anyone, is to men and to women, is work hard, correct? If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, What is the Meaning of Success? I mean, it's a whole book. But one of the things he talks about is the 10,000-hour rule. And it takes 10 years to be really good. I think these are choices we make if you want to be in management. Whether you're a man or a woman, the ability to roll up your sleeves, have grit, have self-control, really deliver, because then when you do want to have children, when you do want more of a balance, I think you can demand it. I feel that, I've worked at Godrej for 12 years. I put in a lot of hours. Now if I choose to get married and to have children, I think I have more of the ability to be balanced because I've earned that right. I've provided value. So I think that's very important when you look at your careers and you look at the balance that you sort of, put yourself first, and then you can say, I need help in being more balanced. The fourth piece of advice, and this is seeing a lot of people who are very successful within Godrej, women who are successful, is marry well. And when I say marry well, I'm not even talking about the husband, I'm talking about the in-laws. Because they seem to be, honestly, they seem to be the secret of how people manage. I have, and again, to bring my mother into the conversation, sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, oh God, you're still at work, this is why all these problems with you and stuff. And then she'll say, who are you with? And if I tell her that I'm with other women members of the management team, and she's like, please let them go home. Let them at least have a life, your choice is yours. No, but to be serious, I think be nice to your parents also, because it's your parents or your in-laws. And I think that's a great advantage actually in India, because to have that family support really, really sort of helps you. So I think that's also really very important. The other piece of advice that I had was, it's really important while you're pursuing your passion, you look at the sort of industry and company you want to work with. And I think what's very important here is to look for result-oriented companies and not companies that sort of always demand face time. This is dependent, of course, on industry and company. But now, all over the world, in India, companies are really, really flexible, whether it's on maternity leave, whether it's on working from home, flexi time. And now we have paternity leave also. So this is not just for women, this is for men also, because people do want to have a more balanced life. So I think it's very important that you sort of really carefully think of what industry and what company you want to work for. And my last piece of advice, don't forget, you will have to clap very soon. Get ready. The last piece of advice I have is to be like Anne Mulcahy. I don't know if any of you know who Anne Mulcahy is here. Show of hands. I've got a chocolate for you. Anyway, so Anne Mulcahy was the CEO of Xerox between 2001 and 2009. I heard her speak once in business school, and she actually came the same week that Jack Welch came. And Jack Welch came, spoke to 1,000 people, very clever. He was very aggressive. He sort of ripped apart the professor who was doing the panel discussion. And I always admired Jack Welch, and I don't know, after seeing him at that session, the admiration sort of kind of went away. And then Anne Mulcahy spoke maybe a few days later, and I'd actually never heard of her either. And she was just amazing. She was really forget being a woman, and I think Dr. Bala talked about, this empathy and stuff. She was just very human. And, she came in and she turned Xerox around. So she's like a hugely successful CEO. And she told the story of how she did that. And basically she said, Xerox was in such a bad state, and I'd been working my whole life in the company. I wasn't on that CEO track, and they were in such a bad state. They just sort of picked me and said, can you do it? And, she talked about how even during this piece, she did it because of her commitment to the company, but she also talked about, that her family was most important. She started off her speech by saying, my children are the most important to me, whatever it is. I've had all this success as a CEO, but they're the most important to me. She also told a story that, she was driving home one day, and this whole turnaround thing's going on. It's so stressful. She's committed to Xerox, but she has these kids, and she said, I just got out of the car and I held my head and I cried. And it was just very sort of real. So I think be like Anne, be real, realize that life is not always easy, but commit, work hard, but be like Anne also, always be human. And so one of my favorite quotes is from Bono, who's lead singer with U2. And he says, as a rock star, I have two instincts. I want to have fun and I want to change the world. I have the chance to do both. I really think all of you in today's day and age, men, women, you have the chance. You guys are rock stars, correct? You have this opportunity. So please go out there, have fun, and change the world. Thank you.